My name is Alex Pina. I'm an electrical engineer with Eversource. I've been living in this house for 2 years, me and my wife and my one son. The first time I heard about Everlast, I wasn't home, so I got a ring notification on my phone. So Tyler came to my door, and then he asked me about solar, if I was interested in solar. I've been meaning to go with solar, but I never found a good company. So I was at work actually at that time, so I told him like, yeah, I am interested in solar. Why won't you come back another time and see, I wanted to see, give it a shot and see what you have to offer. And then he said, okay, of course. And then he asked me when I would be home. And then we spent about 2 to 3 minutes talking via ring. And then we scheduled an appointment, and then he came back for the appointment. And then that's how I heard about Everlast. One of the most memorable conversation I had with Alex and Tyler from Everlast when they were here to give me a quote was that they were always straightforward and honest. I would ask them a bunch of questions since I work in the field, in the electrical field. I did commissions a lot of solar in the past. So I would ask them a bunch of questions straight up, and they would be honest and answer the questions. So when they didn't have the answer, they didn't try to bullshit me or lie to me and say this is it, and then try to sweep things under the rug. They would be straight up honest, I don't have the answer for you right now. Let me go investigate a little bit more on this question and follow up with you. So that was one of the things that I found very, very memorable, is that Alex and Tyler, they were both honest and straight up off the bat. They didn't try to sell me things for things that they were not. They were honestly saying I don't have the answer for this. Let me get back to you. Everlast wasn't the first solar company that I talked with. There was other companies that came to here, and I saw other companies that I met at stores, grocery stores like BJ's, and they offered me to come here and give me a quote. But when they came, the products that they had was not something that I was interested at the price point where they were. So that's why I didn't move with other companies. And even after I got a quote from Everlast, I went into the market and shop around with many other companies before I could move forward with the solar. The main difference between Everlast and the other companies I sought out is that Alex and Tyler, they both gave me that in-person quote. They talked to me, they let me know what I was getting, and they guaranteed me that they would be there the whole process. It wasn't something, most companies, they offer you solar, they give you a solar, and then they come to you, and I can sense the salespersons, they will offer you the world right off the bat, and then they do anything, they lie to you. And with Alex and Tyler from Everlast, it wasn't like that. So I could feel that he was not just being a salesperson, but he was honest. He would tell me oh, you will get this, but you won't get such thing. So we wouldn't be able to do this for you, but we can do. He would give me a workaround my questions, and if I wanted a specific thing. So one of the things that I wanted was make sure that I get the microinverters, that I would not end up with the big inverter on the side of the house. Alex made sure that he said, I don't guarantee that, but I could draft a contract for you that's saying that they will do that. They will not offer you something else. He was not just being a salesperson, but he was making sure that he would put everything in writing. He was not making sure that he was only cover the interests of Everlast, but he was also covering my interests as a customer. What ultimately made me move forward with Everlast over the other companies is the fact that they worked with me with different quotes. There was multiple options, multiple price points where they could be. And even though there was other companies that offer me a better principal, but the interest was too high, Alex from Everlast, he made sure that he would put me at the principal and interest that would better fit my needs. And besides that, he also showed me he gave me the data sheets, all the documents that I asked for every single equipment that they would be installing at my house. He was upfront with me and gave me everything that I asked for. The transparency and how Alex was very straightforward with the products that I was getting, that was what made me move forward. A lot of the companies said that, oh, we work with multiple vendors, you could get such and such and such, it depends on the supply chain. When I asked exactly what product I was getting, they always gave me a workaround. They're saying, oh, it could be this type of solar panel, it could be an inverter from this company, or it could be from an inverter from another company. And they would never be straightforward which inverter I was getting, which solar I was getting, and which companies was going to do the install. So it was like always a lot of work around. And I like the honesty and the transparency that Alex and Everlast offer me right off the bat. I really love the process after the sales with Everlast. The reason I say that is because in my town, I had a lot of bumps with the city, with the town itself. Like the permits getting pushed back, the inspection dates got pushed back and everything. But throughout the way, Everlast and Alex, they never let me hang. You know, like a lot of companies, they sell your product, and then once you sign the contract with them that says you're doing this, they don't care about you anymore. They just walk out of the door and they're like, oh, I got you. Like now there's nothing you can do, because if you cancel, you gotta pay this penalty. With Everlast, it was different. Alex did walk me through the whole process, and every time I had an issue, he would work with me to solve the issue. And I would try to help, and then he was always willing to take my help when I was trying to help things move forward. He was never like, oh, that's our job, let us take care of this, or he was not like pushing me away. It was like we were working together for the same goal. It was not like, oh, I got you, I sold you the product, now stay on your corner, I stay in my corner, and then once it's done, it's done. It was like we working together as a team until the solar was finally installed and up and running. Even though we had a lot of bumps, it was close to the end of the year. Everlast did everything they could to make sure that my solar was going to be turned on before the end of the year, so I would get the tax and the federal incentives for the solar. One of the things I've been always shopping around for solar, and the price of the solar was always too expensive. It was something like, yes, I would save money by going solar, but I was not saving money right away. I was saving money 10 years into the future. Or I would have to use a big down payment, like take a huge chunk of my savings to put as a down payment to get the solar, so I could save a little every month. When Everlast came to me, they offered me an option where I had to put 0 down payment, and the interest rate was attractive. So it was a 25 years plan, even though the plan was long, but I was starting to save money right away, because they made sure that they would size the system that would cover all my electrical needs, and then I would pay less monthly than what I was paying my electrical utility, which was an absurd, to be honest. And then I loved it because I was like, and there is no prepayment penalty or anything. So I was like, okay, I get the solar now. Instead of putting a huge down payment up front, I keep that money for other projects. And then once I go solar and I'm saving money every month, I can do a prepayment and finish paying it early. So if I finish paying, let's say in 10, 15 years, after that, I'm getting free energy. I'm not paying for utility, I'm not paying for solar. It's just like taking a loan for a car. Like if you buy in a car, you go like, everyone wants a big down payment. So a lot of people don't buy their dream car because of the huge down payment and the huge monthly payment. But if some company is willing to sell you a car for no down payment and a lower monthly payment, pretty sure a lot of people would go for their dream car. So it's the same thing with solar for me. So I wanted to go solar. The companies out there were not offering me the right opportunity for me to go solar, and that's what Everlast did. The installation process was easy because we scheduled a date, the town, and after all the permits were pulled, which took a while because the town was pushing back the permits. After all the permits was pulled, the installation took 1 or 2 days. It wasn't something super invasive. They didn't need to come into the house, so it was just like a one-time thing. They came here one day, they finished most of what they could. There was a piece missing that wasn't delivered, and then the next day they came, they just did whatever they needed to do outside. It wasn't super invasive. It was like quick and easy, and they were out of here. When it comes to the aesthetics, I don't really care much about the aesthetics, but I know a lot of people do. But what I like is that my roof was a darker color and the solar panel was also black on black, so there wasn't the white lines on the solar panel showing for a mile away. And it was installed in a way that it gives me the max production, which is what I was looking for. And luckily, it also looks good. Most people don't even notice that I have solar in my roof until I mention it. The main reason I decided to go solar was to save money. And even though solar's been around for a while now, not a whole lot of companies are offering people the opportunity to go solar. Most companies, what they're out there doing is trying to profit out of this new trend per se. A lot of people want to go solar, so companies are trying to just profit out of it. But they're doing it by instead of selling you the product, they want to lease it, where they take the most advantage of it and they still own it in the end. When Everlast came to me, they didn't offer me you want to lease it or anything. They offer me the product itself. They were selling me the product and telling me what it was going to do for me. So I already wanted to go solar, and when Everlast showed me the opportunity for that specific price that was best fitting my needs, that was what ultimately pushed me to go solar. The opportunity showed at the right moment. My experience post-solar, after the solar was installed, up and running and everything with Tyler and Alex, is we have a friend's relationship now. I wouldn't hesitate and I wouldn't think twice about inviting them over to grab a beer or just sit by the pool and chill, because that's what friends do. You spend time with each other. So my experience with Alex and Tyler, like, more than like we had a professional experience, a business experience at first, now we're more than that. Like, it became like I would very much like that we would stay in touch and keep like going forward with our friendship. I would definitely recommend Everlast to my friends and families, because my experience with Everlast was great. It was like Alex always hold my hand throughout the process. He talked to me anytime I had a question. He was very responsive. I would text him early in the morning, late at night. Like, if I had any issues, he would respond right away. And if it was late at night, the next morning the issues was going to be solved, or he would follow up on the issue right away. It wasn't like, I'm selling you the product, I'm done. So I would definitely recommend Everlast to friends and family.